Hi everyone, this is Hemashree from 5th Sem BCA of St. Francis de Sales College. So, my topic for seminar is Life Cycle of Thread. So, before knowing the life cycle of thread, let us see what is thread. A thread is a part of a program that is running. A thread is a single sequential flow of control within a process. A thread is also referred to as a lightweight process. So you all got to know what is thread. So let us move to the life cycle of thread. So introduction about life cycle of thread. The life cycle of thread begins when we instantiate a thread clause and call start method. It goes through various states before completing the job it is supposed to do. So this is the cycle of thread. Let us see. So you all can see here there is a newborn. So it'll be starting, and if it doesn't exist, it'll stop and go to the dead state. And next, if we see this box over here, it'll be in a running and runnable state. If it is runnable state, it'll go to the running, and if it is in running state, it'll yield the methods and it'll go to the runnable state. And if it is suspended or sleep or wait, it will come to the blocked state. And if it is want to resume or notify, again it will move to the runnable or running state. And if it is blocked, again it will go to the dead state and it will stop. And again if it is stopped from this box over here, it will go to the dead state. So hope you all understood this life cycle of thread. So let let us see what is start method. Start method. When the start method is called, the thread enters in a ready to run state. This thread is now in the pool of threads ready for the execution. Sometime later the thread is picked up by the scheduler for execution and moved to the running state. This means that the thread can now execute its run method. The scheduler may move the thread out of the running state even if it had not finished the execution. In the case, the run method will be partially executed and the thread moves back to the ready to run state. Sometime later, another thread from the ready to run thread pool is picked up by the scheduler and moved to the running state. Let us see the third point. This cycle continues till the thread finishes executing its run method. After that, it is moved to the dead state. All the threads in the threads pool go through this cycle to finish their execution. The fourth point is the thread can also voluntarily move out of running state. This happens when it is waiting on some event and does not really need to be executed till that time. In such cases, it is moved to a not ready to run state. After that event for which thread is waiting occurs, the thread moves back to the ready to run state. Let us see each of these states in a detail. So, ready to run state. This is known as runnable. A thread is in ready to run state, also known as runnable state, which is eligible to run, but the scheduler has not yet picked it actually run. The very first time a thread enters this state when its method is invoked for the first time. Note that a thread can also return to ready to run state either after running or after that not ready to run, waiting for something else state. We should call the start method only once on a thread object. Re-invoking a start method on thread object that is already started is illegal. We may get a runtime exception if we try to do so. So we got to know what is runnable. Let us see what is running. Running. When the thread enters in this state, the JVM starts to execute the thread. JVM is nothing but Java Virtual Machine. So the JVM starts to execute the thread's run method. The thread remains in this state and keep running until it is either swapped out by the thread scheduler or it voluntarily give up its turn for some reasons. The state transition in diagram shows several ways a thread gets out of the running state. Note that there is only ways to get out of the running state. That is when the scheduler chooses a thread from the threads pool. So let us see what is not ready to run, that is blocked state. A thread moves out of the running state and goes to not ready to run state when it is waiting for something to happen. After the event for which it is waiting happens, the thread moves back to the ready to run state. Let us see briefly when the thread can possibly the not ready to run state. So there are three states, that is sleeping state, waiting state and blocked state. Let us see what is sleeping state. We may want a thread to do nothing for some time, maybe until some other thread is finished its job. In this case, we can call the thread sleep method in the thread's run method. This method tells the currently running thread to sleep, do nothing for some period of time. The thread wakes up when the stipulated time is elapsed and it goes back to the ready to run state. So we got to know what is sleeping. Let us see what is waiting. Sometimes a thread might wait just because we have asked it to wait by calling the java.language.objectsWait method in its run method. In that case, the thread changes its state from running to waiting, which is same as not ready to run. The thread remains in this state until another thread sends a notification by invoking the notify or the notify all method. That is no longer necessary for the thread to wait. So we got to know what is waiting. Let us see what is blocked. Blocked. Sometimes a thread needs a wait for a reason while running. For example, if it is reading from a network resource in its run method, it has to wait until that resource becomes available. Until that time, the thread cannot do much and is not really running. Therefore, it moves out of running state and enters the blocked state. When the resource for which it is blocked becomes available, the thread again becomes eligible to execute and hence it moves to the ready to run state. So we got to know what is not ready to run, that is blocked state. So let us see what is dead state in life cycle of thread. A Java thread enters this state when it has finished the execution of its run method. We cannot start the thread once it is dead. The thread can be started only once in its lifetime. If we re-invoke start on a thread which is dead, it does not get started again. We can test whether the thread object is alive or dead, whether it has finished executing run by invoking this is alive method on it. So we will go to the next point. After the start method is invoked, the thread is become alive. It remains alive until it finishes execution of its run method. The thread class has is alive method that allows to check whether the given thread is alive. Therefore, invoking is alive on a thread object which is not started yet or which has finished its execution return false. So hope you all understood what is life cycle of thread. Thank you for watching my video. Thank you.